And shit. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon, and we're still weary from last night, so bear with us. um, I'm your Dark Lord Thor Gunderson, and we without the Punisher today. He couldn't make it, but he's here in spirit and everything. And but first, before we announce our guest of honor, we're gonna run down the usual suspects from the X Mansion. The best there is at what he does, Mr. Artem, the child of the Atom.
Yeah, what up, guys? Yeah, excited to be here, man.
Coming to you live from hell, we got Nick 666.
What's up?
And then from the far east, we got Mr. Whiplash Collector himself, Mr. Stephen Lee.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Oh, we appreciate it, brother. And then from the man we've been trying to talk to this man for a long time. We all big admirers of his work. He's a cool dude, man. I've always wanted to talk to him. We got here Mr. Franco Carlesimo.
Welcome, brother. Franco.
What's up, guys?
Really
nice to be here.
Oh man, we appreciate it, man. Me myself, for me, you always have like a moment of clarity. And I think for me, and I must admit, I'm not dissing out Tim or nothing. I'm not like the hugest Wolverine fan in the world. I mean, I appreciate him. He's a bad dude and everything.
It's all good,
but
brother.
When I saw that X-Force Wolverine with all the dead bodies and carnage and everything, and me being the Dark Lord, I said that's the kind of stuff that makes the Dark Lord's nipples very hard. You see? Yeah, that was for me, man. I was like, that is like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? So
that's
that
why
was
I PO'd it.
Oh, nice, Steven. you know what's funny about that? That's interesting you said that one, Thor, because that was the first one that I recognized. Oh, this is the same sculptor as all the other pieces I like. Because I asked a specific question. I said, "Yo, is there skin discs on the ground?" And the guy producing was like, "Yeah, of course." And then he sent me a picture instantly. It wasn't like there's there, quick make them. It was already there, and I was like, "Okay, details all the way. I'm in. I love it." So yeah, that piece also struck me.
Well, thank you, guys. A lot of that is also all of those praise also would have to go to the art direction, Because sometimes you can name these guys, sometimes you can't. But a lot of the work that I do with a particular client, we share a lot of ideas, going forward, and a lot of the initial ideas come from his fucked up mind. So that's a good thing. Yeah, he has like really cool ideas. I'm always telling you. But I appreciate it, man. I do my best to try to bring his ideas and my own ideas to life, or at least to a 3D model. Then you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's not up to you. It's up to you. I'm just doing one model for one person.
That's right. I mean, I would I would gladly display that one. I mean, like with much pride. You know what I mean? Because that thing is amazing. That's still to this day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it might change after the day, but that's still my favorite piece of yours. But yeah.
By the way, Thor, that's long sold out.
Oh, I know that. No, dude, check it out.
I need to make a fucking T-shirt.
No. Check this out.
Long sold out.
I actually contacted somebody about that, and they said, "Yeah, we can get you one." I said, "Well, how much do you want for it?" Oh, 2,700 euros. I said, y'all can keep that, bro.
Yeah. I need to pay rent and eat some food. Yeah. Fuck that.
I did.
I appreciate the pictures,
I pulled out my currency, exchange rate system or whatever. I said, yeah, no.
Well, that depends on the month,
So, Tim, before we get too far, who we got in the chat so far, brother?
So first one in, we had our homeboy Edwin Diaz, always here supporting us, man. Love you,
Edwin,
bro.
what's up, my brother?
Chris Crow in the house. What up, dude? Ed Dude in the house. What up, brother? Vas Rod is in here. What up, Vaz? My DC collection. Dr. Banners, Lee Etherington.
Lee.
Technical tutorials. What up? Statue collecting here.
What up, guys?
Remember to like it, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, people. I don't
Oh,
know.
let's auto like it.
We got 20 people watching, only 6 people commenting, but it's all good.
Yeah, I got
Robert Incredible.
I
What up,
don't know
Robert?
what's going on, y'all, with the YouTube. People been hitting me up about the chat last night, so I don't know. If you stayed up and watched it late into the night, you might have seen some extra bonus content. But you might not be able to recover it, so it might be for the best. So
At the end of the shows, when we close everything out and it still says live on my camera, I'm like, yo, I fucking hate our viewers, hoping that one day it goes on.
I can't stand that against you guys.
It's ironic. He wasn't on there last night.
He wasn't?
No, he wasn't there. I don't know what happened with him. So.
It's so funny, man.
Hey,
but I don't want to break the mystery. I think he's okay in the chats. Sometimes when you meet your idols, they fuck it up, like what's going on right now.
Yeah, man. Fuck
Ryan want that dude so bad, bro.
Archangel, he's the best, bro.
He's the best, yeah. He some really good shows.
Oh, man.
We got Bengi Oztoron just came in. What up?
Hi, everyone.
Incredible, too.
So, Tim, I believe you got a Franco piece coming in, bro. Talk about that.
I have 3 Franco pieces coming in.
Nice.
No way. Yeah. You're loaded, man.
Yeah, loaded. I'm blowing in holes in my wallet.
You're making
That's why I think you're selling.
By the way, yeah, I was very gentle. Just wanted you to know that.
Oh, when we went camping?
No. With the baby?
Oh, with the baby.
With your wife? Last night, I got that.
Yeah, somebody said that last night.
Oh, that was so funny. You're wrong with it. You're wrong with it. One second. Yeah, he was very gentle. That was my wife.
Hey, Tim, I said when you're expecting the life sculpture, remember?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
That's funny.
Our chat is merciless, bro. Merciless.
Statue collecting here. Oh, so mechanical tutorials is statue collecting. Yo, that makes so much sense because I like you both times. So it's the same person. He's saying ole, 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 hola, Franco.
Ole.
That means we get 2 likes from one person.
Yeah.
Right?
Love that.
So, Franco, before we came on, man, you was telling us about stuff you were doing for years before leading up to what you're doing now. Tell the folks about that, man.
Well, yeah, man, we were talking about that. Before I started doing this, around almost 3 years now, I used to work in commercials mostly. I always dabbled with art. I mean, I always were working, doing illustration or something like this was always my goal. When I was just a little kid, I always was drawing, never paying attention in class or whatever. I was just drawing. And I started working in commercials around 2011, something like that, or 10. Well, yeah, I think 9 or 10, something like that. I spent the math doesn't. When I worked in commercial for 10 years, around 10 years. Okay.
Yes, 2008.
Yeah, something like that. I started
2007.
around that. Yeah, because I started doing illustrations, stuff like that, and then I went to doing 3D stuff. I studied by myself in a small apartment back in my hometown in Mar del Plata. I'm from Argentina, living in Barcelona right now, and I studied everything from reading books because YouTube wasn't that big and tutorials back then, and I started studying by books and buying magazines and stuff like that, and just learning it by myself because there was no really good school that teach. Well, that's my English. Anything regarding 3D. So I started. I think I have a few. I have a when Blogspot was a thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. That's a long time ago. So let me show you because I have this like I don't know, history recap or whatever of everything I have done. Not everything, but some.
Yo, statue collecting is saying, "Vamos Argentina, carajo."
Vamos Argentina, carajo. Oh, vamos mierda. La concha de tu madre. See, I used to do like illustrations, and this is like the first thing I animated 2D wise. And I used to like learn everything by myself. You know, like if I have to, I want to do something, I just like straight up go and start doing it. I learn on the way.
It's insane.
This is
Self-taught.
Really self-taught. Yeah, this is like frame by frame drawing animation. Like this is, I know it's small, but it's really bad quality. I can't make it bigger. Sorry. But I used to do stuff like that and design characters for commercials. This was one 2D commercial that I did back from my hometown, and a lot of shit.
Wow.
But yeah, I used to work as illustrator. It's not good, man. It wasn't. It was never good, but at least pay the bills. But back then was cheap. Life was cheaper.
What did you do? What did you do before the commercials? Is that your first?
Before the commercials, I used to do illustration for magazines and stuff like that, and also I work as a BJ. I know, not doing blowjobs, doing visual effects, a visual jockey. You know, where when you go to a club and you see like the animations on the screens and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I used to work that, so I used to work nights. All night. See, this is, for example, some of my work on a really popular club back then.
Wow.
It was so fucking crazy, man. The first time, yeah, you can't really see much because it's so pixelated. I don't know, 64. But see, my work is on the screens, on the big screens. So it was like really nuts for me because I was around 20, something like that, and. You kind of back then I didn't like got really feedback from people, you know, doing what I did, just like a drawing for a magazine, for whatever, a postcard or whatever, and that was it. The client pays me, and that's it.
You got paid, and then
and that was it.
If people liked it or hated it.
Doing this, I was at a fucking club with my notebook, and I was like, okay, playing these animations to the beat of the music. And the fucking people start like going like nuts, you know, like, oh man, look at this shit. And they were like, yeah, they were all drunk and drugged, you know, but it was fun for me because they were like.
Franco, what made you want to do, when did you say in your head, I want to do art for the rest of my life and that's that? What was that day? When did that click? What age? How old were you?
There is no way to like point it out, you know, because I'm always been like surrounded by this. I always like it. I used to love dinosaurs, not Pixar, Disney movies, everything regarding like animation and stuff, and drawings and paintings and stuff like that. So initially, I always wanted to be like an illustrator. I do illustrations. So and comics. Sorry, yeah, comic books was a thing. I really wanted. This is a comic that I did, but I realized I was like really bad at it. But I try everything. Let me look for the. I have a folder. I have like really old stuff. There you go. This is, for example, a really bad comic that I did. But the thing is that I realized that I didn't enjoy drawing the same thing again and again and again. That's why I started animation. I realized that it wasn't like the best thing. This is really bad, but this I was like young, like 18, something like that. But I realized that I didn't enjoy like doing the drawings again and again and again and again. So I started like dabbling into animation, but there was a thing called Flash. That is a program that I used to use for animation for internet mostly.
Right.
The good thing about this is that you were able to like do a. I'm checking out. one drawing and then animated it by like interpolation of things. So it was a different animation technique. So I used to do like stuff like this.
That's great.
I used to do a lot. Thanks. I used to do a lot. I lost a lot of this shit. But...
PJ.
Yes, PJ.
PJ, if you're not at work, get on here, bro.
See, I used to do this kind of stuff.
He just spit a chicken out of his mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. Esperando el bondi.
Esperando, yeah, waiting for the bus.
So you dabbled in it all, basically. You did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I tried it, man. I was like, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I wanted to see if I like it. For example, when you're young, you have like these expectations or ideas or whatever. So you go like, oh, I want to do this. It's going to be cool. And then you start doing it, and you realize that, yeah, it's not for me. I don't know, but to know that it's not what I want to do, first I have to do it.
It's good too, yeah. That's
I have to try it out. I can't say that, oh yeah, I like that. I'm not going to like that just by, and I don't know, doing some research about it. Yeah, that's fucking nice.
So for sure, that's not.
Sorry, mature content. Sorry.
Oh.
And this was. Do you remember the game Worms?
Yeah.
That was my shit. Yeah, I was just do this shit. I used to do this on my crappy computer, and it was fun, man. It was really fun.
That's bananas, bro.
This one is wrong. I don't know what happened there. Thank you. I don't know why, but like nah. Like drunk asshole. I used to do a lot of those. It was really fun. And there one, the funny thing, when I used to do this, I was like around 16 or 17. And the funny thing is that I was in high school, right? And my friends from high school, they were like, "Oh, you know how to do drawings, animation, and stuff like that? Yeah. Can you animate me fucking her?" Oh my God. really, like, can you do an animation of me with her, with some chick or whatever? And I would go and do it. I just animate this classmate doing the deed, and then like give them a CD-ROM. There you go.
That's crazy.
How much did you charge?
Man.
How much did you charge for that video?
For the fun of it.
And to this day, Franco doesn't charge anything for his art. Thank you, Franco.
I used to do, you can see, I used to do illustration by myself, and this is like when I started like using reference, because at the beginning, when you start doing this, a lot of people like tends to think that you have to do everything from imagination, and that's not fucking true at all. If you want to get good, you have to learn how to use reference.
Franco, that's pretty wild. You have basically you have your life's portfolio, with that and your digital sculpting. You have it all right at your fingertips. That's pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, that you didn't lose that.
Thanks, man. No, yeah, I kept it all. This is one of the first things I did in Photoshop. It's really bad, but it was so that's why I keep it, because it was one of the first. But yeah, I try to back up a lot of stuff, and also like that blog spot that I have, as long as they don't go offline, is there. So that's cool.
Because a lot of people, they don't save their stuff like that. I think it's something that really shows how many different dimensions to an artist that there is.
Yeah, I think there are many dimensions to any person. But the thing is that as an artist, at least as an illustrator, I have things like I can like put my print on it and then save them, because we are not the same that we were when we were 15.
No, not at all.
The cool thing is that I see this now, and I remember being 15 and doing that shit at 16. That was like crazy.
That spitting chicken, PJ has to watch that.
Yeah. Let me remember.
PJ was in here. He said he's working, or he'd jump on.
Yeah, I figured he was.
There you go. This is PJ. It's a loop. And it was like inspired by Bill Plimpton, that is the guy that does animation and illustration and works like this, like really bizarre compositions and animation, and things fall into each other. It's really cool. This one. This is there we go. This is Salud. Okay.
I don't think you're sharing with us anymore.
No, sorry. So, man, I forgot. Oh, yeah, shit. There we go.
So we got a question. We got a question real quick from our homeboy X-Men Exclusives. He said his favorite piece of yours is Nightcrawler, and he wants to know what made you choose the church background for the base. Is it from his comic history of being religious?
Yeah, it is. It is from the comic background, but it also is the art director.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can give some input and stuff like that, obviously, but yeah, I mean, we talk about it, and it was like the right move, you know.
We got Edward Ospina saying "Saludos de Miami."
Saludos.
So, what character that you have not done so far, like, would you like to sculpt, or like, have you always wanted to sculpt?
Well, the first one that I wanted to sculpt was Wolverine, so that's why the first one. That's the first one that I did by myself.
Right.
I don't know, because it's a big list, and I guess I would like to do like a cool Superman.
Oh, okay.
But because I think he's kind of hard to get, you know, to get all the complexity of the character in one statue. That's kind of going to be hard for me. And also, the duo, you know, the Batman and Superman will be cool.
I definitely know somebody who would like that. Right out there.
What? Oh, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jason, yeah. Well, he's not here. Yesterday was his birthday.
Yeah, so he's probably wasted off of that.
Probably, yeah. Mad naked and wasted.
But frankly, if you do Superman, then our Australian buddy is going to go crazy. That's for sure.
I know. That Aussie boy, yeah, he's crazy already.
That would be some serious peer pressure because, you know, he always said, I'm not, you know, I can't get into the custom game and everything. But we dangle a Carlesimo Superman in front of you. We see how you feel then, Jason.
That dude will change his tune quick.
I don't know. I do just fan art. I don't know what you're talking about. I only do fan art for myself.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Franco, was that Wolverine that we talked about years ago there, those 3 years back? Was that your first Wolverine that you ever did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I used to do drawings of those guys a lot, but that's the first 3D model I did for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the crouching, was that your idea or was that the art director's idea?
No, that was all mine. That was a personal piece.
Wow.
That I did so I can. I actually have the fake. Let me check one thing.
If anybody in the chat who's listening and maybe they can't see the chat, if you got any
Tim,
questions.
I actually have like the face printed in that cheap material because I don't know if you're going to see it.
Damn.
Oh yeah, in the 3D.
See? Yeah, because that was the idea because for all the information that I got back then 3 years ago almost, it was like to get into the industry, you can say, you start working on some, you know, personal work, fan art or whatever, and then if you are good, companies usually contact you. But the things, you know, the game changed a little bit when I was like right in the fucking middle.
Yeah.
So this is what I got, you know. It's beautiful, like Wolverine face.
But you know what? That was
it happened, man.
It was
that's what I was saying. I mean, you gotta go with the flow.
That was a hell of first design, man. Right out of the gate there, it was nice. Man. Really nice.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I didn't know what kind of other statues were out of him or whatever. It was really fun to figure out everything because I had to learn how to do the keying and everything, and I had to find a guy that did printing back in my hometown, and there was only one guy that I found, and he was like, I print like boat parts or whatever, something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was like nothing to do with the artistic side. When I came to him with the idea, he was like so excited about it, and we had a really good time, like figuring out the ways of doing the printing and all that. So yeah, it was a really cool experience. And then after that, just one things like started to happen, to move along and that. But I started to dabble a lot more into the private sector, of this community. Underground guy.
A big question for you, Franco. Will you ever get tired of Wolverine?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Mostly because a team is going like.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't want to disappoint you.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
No, man, but Wolverine was my first love as as a comic character. I mean, he was like this badass fucking guy, and his power, not the fucking claws, but the fact that he could regenerate himself and heal from everything, that was like super cool to me. I don't know why, being like a 10-year-old boy, but that was super cool to me because he could do whatever the fuck he wanted and never die.
Yeah, because for me, it's a psychological. Like I have a psychological connection to the character, right? When I was growing up, I was always hairy, so immediately I was like, man, this fucking character is hairy, and everybody fucking talks about it. And I'm like, yo, people talk about it to me when I was a kid, like, yo, why are your arms so fucking hairy? I'm like, I don't know, why are you fucking being mean to me and shit?
Yeah.
And so the psychological part for Wolverine for me is this guy heals from every damage that he gets, but he still has to feel all that pain. So for me, it was like a psychological thing because like it hurts to have somebody talk some shit to you, but I'm not going to let it hurt me forever. Fuck you. I'm going to get past that. And that's why the first movie rang so hard, like true to me. And I hate that the Fox movies don't get any love because when he says his claws hurt every time they come out, that was like the moment for me. I'm like, yo, this guy does understand the characters. And that was a beautiful moment for me. So yeah, that's the thing for me too. I
get it. Totally get it because I was bullied when I was young also. I mean, not like bullied like you guys are there, but I wasn't like the popular kid or whatever,
Right.
It's not that bad in Argentina. But I wasn't like the popular fucking kid or whatever, and I was like I used to use glasses. I don't use it anymore because I got an operation. But yeah, man, I mean, being bullied as a kid is something that it's probably going to direct you in a way, in your life.
Yeah, you fight or flight. You either have to get stronger, or you recede, and then and
then you shoot someone.
Yeah, you go home and cry to yourself.
Sorry. Yeah. It's just like dark humor. Sorry, I have a lot of it. I mean,
you're not far off from what people do.
Yeah. Well, you have to because when you have some rough experience in your life, I think humor is something that really heals you.
Yeah,
and helps you deal with some shitty stuff. So I think humor is good, man.
It's the best.
Franco, you still have that Spawn love, Franco? Say yes. Tell me you
always,
still
man. Always. That's the only reason. That's why I haven't done anything about Spawn, because I respect that too much.
Oh,
that is going to backfire on me, sure. But Todd McFarlane is one of my fucking heroes in the sense that Spawn was like so out there, so different from everything else that I was reading at the time. And I was reading a comic called El Cazador that's really fucking nuts. It's from Argentina. So you're not going to know what it is, but I'm going to show you in a few minutes. But Spawn, I really like the idea of hell and heaven and the character and the villains were really cool and the drawings and the dynamic and everything was cool about Spawn. And then you saw the HBO animation series that was like fucking cool. And then the Doug McFarlane toys. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the guy.
Nice.
That was like my next question. Like, which artists or like sculptors or anything like that did you draw your inspiration from? Like, far as your style.
The thing is that I mostly drawn by illustration because I don't know why, but I really enjoy more of that. A really cool painting. I love sculptors and all that, but the people that inspire me the most are usually illustrators, like Simon Beasley, Tom McFarlane, and Boris Vallejo. There's a lot, but obviously I'm drawing a blank now because I'm on fucking live. Luis Rosso, yeah, man, doing this on fucking camera is not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. So that's fucking crazy. I'm so like.
You got a question from Bengi Ozteron. Yeah, Ozteron. I hope I'm not fucking that up. So he wants to know if there's any specific website that you use for reference images. Are there any tips that you use for references? Because he's in love with the dynamism of your big fan works.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But there is not only one place to go. I mean, if you want to study about anatomy and all that, well, you can use some pages like 24 scan or something like that. Just look for like body scans reference and all that. You can really use that, and you can actually buy some models to see the scan data that you get to understand the anatomy. But the thing is that if you want to understand dynamic stuff, maybe you can like study a little bit about animation. You don't stay on that only on the anatomy and all that. You have to study about the silhouette, the curves, and the animation is really good because it's always like stretching and pushing the movement of the body to the limit. So that is going to help you. And sometimes, I mean, if you have to break a little bit the anatomy to get a better curve of the body, as long as it looks okay, looks good, then you're fine.
Because you could trick the eye a little bit. Just to make the pose work. I get what you're saying.
I mean, I don't really like my finished products usually because I'm always studying. So I'm not a master of anatomy of anything. So you can take what I'm saying, but don't just keep that as what it is. Just use it as a landmark and then go from there. But I'm not really good at anatomy. I'm looking at anatomy all fucking day, naked dudes, man, with big dogs or whatever. Just trying to move. Once in a while, that's why I do a girl, man. It was like, it's fun to look reference for girls. But guys, dude, if you see my reference folder on my Google search,
PM me those pictures, please. So you got another.
But one thing about anatomy and all that, just like try to look for real images, not only like drawings of anatomy and all that, because every artist interprets things on their own way. So if you're going to study anatomy from artists, like pick a few different ones, not only like stay with one, like Loomis or something like that. And if you just go like Pinterest has a lot of big, like really cool boards of a human anatomy, but based on pictures, on images, with like hard shadows that really help you to understand the volumes and what's going on with the body.
Right.
That's great advice for anybody who's.
By the way, another famous sculptor is in the house, Daniel Bell.
Oh, what's up, Daniel? Oh, well, my fate is attached to Danny's because. When I used to do commercials, he used to do commercials as well, and he was I was feeling lonely back there in Mar del Plata, back home because there wasn't any other guys that were doing the same that I was doing. So I did a few jobs for a studio. I think it was Plenty. I don't know which one, and it turns out that in the credits I saw this guy that was Daniel Bell. So we were like, oh man, we work on this thing together. Maybe I can like contact him and try to make some friends on the industry, just to talk shit. And I contacted him. We hit it off, and sounds like so romantic, man. I was like, hit it off, Danny. Yeah, boy.
You slid into his DMs.
Yeah. And we were start talking and all that, and he was like, by that time he was, I don't know if he finished it or he was like already done it or whatever, but he was like with Beowulf, and he blew up with that shit. That was so cool. And then he was working for XM, and we started talking about that, and I did a fully job because he wasn't taking any more commercial jobs, so they went to me, only to me. So because they went to him, and he was like, "No, I'm doing other stuff." So they went to me, and I did all that. It was like for the Brazilian Olympics, and I had to do like 10 characters doing like these dynamic poses of the games,
sprinting,
all that, boxing, all that. So I had like, I don't know, maybe a week to do each one, and then they were going to be printed and then filmed, and then that was like the end commercial. So when I saw all those 10 1/4 statues that I did printed, I was like, shit, man, I want to do this. I mean, I want to do like something that is actually here, it's physical. Yeah, because everything I do is fucking pixels, and nobody gives a damn about commercials. I mean, I used to do a commercial, and I was like so excited it was going to be on TV, and nobody gives a fuck about commercials.
Yeah, it was sometimes like, people get up and walk to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I remember being in my, I don't know which family member, and I was like, I did this, I did. And he was like walking away, you know. He didn't give a shit. So that's the thing. So I started like, because I wanted to do something that at least had meaning to me. I always have done personal projects, but I wanted to try to live of something that was meaningful to me.
Does Argentina have its own beer?
Probably. No, yeah, man, we have a lot of.
What's in the water over there? Because you guys are fucking amazing at this. It just
it's in the meat, man. We eat a lot.
It's in the meat. Got it. Okay. It's the meat. Is Martin is from Argentina too?
Canale is fucking awesome. Ariel Olivetti, that is an illustrator. That a lot of the work is based on his art. I love fucking Ariel. And Ariel Olivetti is also one.
Some of my favorite artists. You keep on naming people I love.
No, man. Well, because we have a lot like you and I know, man. But Ariel Olivetti, I saw. I went to a talk that he gave when I was like, I don't know, 16 or something like that, and he was talking about, because back then, I mean, internet was not that big, so you didn't know that you could work like from distance, for the US or whatever. And this guy kind of like laid out for the people that was there that you can work by distance, and because he's an illustrator for DC, Marvel, and all that shit. And he kind of gave me like not to me in particular, but in general, like the wisdom, the knowledge, or whatever, the enthusiasm, the drive to try to go for that. So you can do what you love. You can work for US. You can work from here. You can do it. It's doable. So let's go and fucking try to do it. So that's why I give a lot of praise to that guy. And I love his last adventure story. It's fucking beautiful. So the first job that he did for Marvel, and it's all like oil and painted, and it's so cool. The thing with Danny is that we met, we hit out with John, and then he told me about the exam, Saisho, and all of those guys, and he just told me that, man, it's doable. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go and try to do it.
Well, thank God you took that advice. You're getting a shout out from Gem Mint Collectibles. He's saying, hey, what up to that boy Franco?
What up, team?
Rodney.
That interview was fun too.
Yeah, that was.
Rodney wanted me to ask you a question. Like, you don't have to tell.
Where's Rodney?
He couldn't make it. He had to hang out with his daughters. You know what I mean? But he wanted me to ask you a question. You don't have to tell us exactly what it is, but he just wanted to know because he want to get his money ready. Do you have any more projects coming with Legion Studios at all, or no?
No. Actually, no. I don't have anything with them. I designed the Bara. It was a long process. It was fun. After that one, I talked with David about doing something else, but we couldn't like agree on mostly on the timing. I think. Right. Looking at my calendar, and because he really wanted to push it like faster as he could. So at the moment, no. We'll see if they do all right and things go up from here.
Right.
Yeah, okay. It will be fun.
Opportunity's still there. All right. You got another question that came through that was a good one. It was X-Men Exclusives asked it. Oh, he said, which Wolverine statue do you like the most since you've sculpted? And he likes the Wendigo and the ninjas and others.
Which Wolverine I like the most that I have sculpted?
Yeah.
Sir, but the problem is that I don't like my work when it's done.
Yeah,
it's
you don't like any of your work.
I don't like any of my work.
It's a nightmare to talk to you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I love this. You're like, it's fucked up here. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I try not to talk much about it, my work, because I don't want, the commissioners to get mad.
yeah.
They will get angry, like, what the fuck, you have to tell me. But I don't have it. That's it's not humility at all, man. I would love to say that, oh man, this when I did that tricep is cool. No, but the thing is that I'm always like still learning. I don't feel like a master at all, man. I'm just like a fucking junior.
I love that.
It's funny because, like, I've been collecting now like about almost 4 years, and like I couldn't tell you right off the bat, like other artists like do a piece, I couldn't say that's Martin Canal, just like by looking at it. But like after the short time I've been seeing your pieces, immediately I said that's Franco. Like just by looking at it. The only one I got wrong was the other day when they showed that Dracula. I thought that was yours, but it wasn't. That was the only time I missed it. But it's like,
no, it's okay. Thanks.
You're the only one I could just look at and say, yeah, that's Franco did that.
Just to be honest, I don't know what it is, because I had friends that told me the same when I was doing just drawings and stuff like that. But they told me that, and I kind of like, I don't see it because I don't understand like what my style is. I just do what I know, and that is what comes out, But yeah, for what I heard from other artists, it's like style is something that you can't like go for it and try, because when I was drawing, I tried a ton of different styles, but I didn't feel like any of them like fit me. They were like, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what your style is when you're an artist,
Yeah, from your own point of view, but like, can you look at like a Martin piece and go, yeah, that's Martin?
Yeah, I can.
It's the same exact way that it happens on our end.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the same, It's interesting. Yeah. So somebody actually asked earlier, has there ever been a piece from like a company that when it came out, you were like, wow, whoa, this is awesome, and it just blew you away, knocked your socks off?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Danny Thor is fucking cool.
Yeah.
The logo, the original logo Martin did, I love that one. Well, the Red Sonja, that I think Will Harborough did
on the snake.
Or no, the last one, the Red Sonja is like
PJ's Red Sonja.
PJ's favorite one.
Stephen Lord.
Yeah. Steve Lord. Sorry,
Stephen Lord.
Yeah, Will Harborough did all the girls from the movie Zack Snyder. Yeah. I mean that Red Sonja is fucking beautiful.
Beautiful body, yeah.
Yeah, just everything. I mean, the pose that she is when she's like with her chin up is so hard to achieve, man. To get it right and to have that look that she's like looking like down on you, like proud of who she is and all that shit. It's super hard to achieve.
I can tell you about, hold on one second, Nick. About 3 weeks ago, Rodney and I unboxed that Iron Fist, that Daniel Bell XM, and that was the first time I saw Daniel Bell up close, and I gotta say, reputation well deserved.
Yeah, man, that is so fucking cool. He works at an army like all the fucking time. He's killing it. Yeah. He's where he deserves. Yeah, he worked a lot to get where he is.
I'm very excited for his future Nightcrawler that he's gonna make me.
Hey, Franco, follow-up question. When you said that it's really hard to do the chin, the facing up, from your experience on the face, which part of the face, from your experience, is the hardest to sculpt? The eyes, the nose, the ears, or does it make a difference?
Yeah, mostly it's like this triangle, or actually the mouth also. It's just like all this frame. because everything is here.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that's the most important part. And because we're used to see faces all the time and we recognize.
Right.
That's the thing. A lot of sculptors worry about the wrinkles and the hyper detail and the pores and all that. And that's not the main thing that you have to nail. I mean, when you see a person, you should see, like, I don't know, let's talk about feet. 5 feet away, you recognize the face, and you're not seeing any detail, I assume. So that's the thing. I mean, if you have to nail those parts first, those are the harder. Okay. And it's everything, because it's not only about the sculpt. When you're talking about this status, it's about all the process. It's about the printing, the cleaning, the molding, casting, the paint job. It's everything. So there is a big team behind anything that you see. It's not only the sculptor. It's everybody involved.
Okay.
So it's like when you see a movie. You know, when you see a movie and the director gets all the praise or whatever. Man, the amount of people that you need to make a fucking movie is like crazy. And so I am kind of pissed that the actors get all the praise all the time, because there is a big fucking team behind
it. In terms of expressions, facial expressions, which is the most challenging? Like an angry face or smiling face?
The relaxed, the smile or the relaxed face. But when you don't want it to be like dead, but you want it to be like relaxed, you know, it's not the same. So it's kind of hard to achieve, because angry is always easy because it's like frowns, you know, like nose going up a little bit, like that. Yeah. And then you're good. But like relaxed, chill, like when you're trying to convey like a feeling or a thought that the character is having, that's harder to achieve. That's why that Red Song is for me is like fucking awesome.
Franco, did you grow up watching any cartoons?
All of them.
Well, what cartoons? So 80s or 90s cartoons? 90s.
Well, I was born in '84.
Yes,
but but in Argentina, I don't know if we got a lot of reruns. So I used to watch X-Men like crazy, Batman, the animated series. And you got a discussion that like, I don't want to get into that. And then I used to watch like Batman Beyond, Superman, the Centurions, the Care Bears, the Snorkels. Obviously He-Man and She-Ra, and man, you can't watch He-Man again. Don't even try.
Everybody said it.
Yeah. No, don't even fucking try. I tried, and I was like, man, I was young. Yeah, I was really young, and I like big buff guys. You know, but the chick, the girl that I really got into, it was like the red-haired girl from the Centurions. I don't know why, but I remember she being really hot. Yeah, her. Okay, yeah. She was like fucking hot for me. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe I was 11, so I was starting to around that age.
Yeah, I started out watching Wonder Woman, man, way back in the day. So that was
well, yeah, Linda Carter. You're talking about that spinning, spinning. That was like nice.
Yeah, bro, that was
wonderful.
That was special for the Dark Lord.
Yeah, man, and that's beautiful. Yeah, she's the best.
Yeah, even to this day, man. Like 70 years old.
Yeah, she's a lady, man. Yeah. Like talking about shit.
Franco, do you find yourself? I see you like the Red Sonja, and we've talked before. Is one of your favorite time periods in the history of the world? Obviously, the medieval stuff. Are you a big fan? It seems like you gravitate to that more than anything. It seams sometimes, which I love it. So.
Well, thanks, Nick. No, yeah, I really like fantasy and all that. I read like all Lord of the Rings when I was young, and sorry, this is the beer going up. Yeah, I mean, it was like all my childhood. I used to draw like a lot of goblins and critters and acts and all that kind of stuff. Guys killing guys, and I got into trouble when I was kid at school because we had to do an illustration about a battle that went in Argentina history, and I drew like this general like cutting off the head of another guy, and I was like 8.
Damn.
So I got
They put you in therapy immediately.
It was like this General San Martin, I think. He was like cutting the head of one of the sword, and I did the blood with the red ink paper pen, and they called my parents like right away. My father was like, "Yeah, what you got? It's okay." But yeah, medieval stuff I always felt drawn to it. I don't know why, but the fantasy of it, all that.
What do you think of Frank Frazetta?
He's the guy.
Yeah,
Frank Frazetta, the compositions that he used to do, they were like really simple a lot of time, but really like right on point. I mean, he used to do a lot of like triangle compositions. And one thing that I saw, I was young, that obviously marked that path. That's why I like a lot of these things. I think is that one time I caught on TV, because back then, as you know, kids, if you didn't saw it like right there was no way going back. I mean, I caught a movie called Ice and Fire, or Fire and Ice, that is all based on Frank Frazetta art, and it's all done by doing this rotoscopy technique, so it looked like really real, the animation. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, Thor, or seen it by your face, you have to check it out.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Is so fucking cool. Because it was like the drawings came to life, It was like all rotoscopy technique. So that means that the guys act the moments, and then the animator guys, they drew on top. But it was like all drawing, all hand painted, hand drawing.
And it's called Fire and Ice, you said?
Fire and Ice. I think, okay. Just go Fire and Ice movie, Frank Frazetta, because it was based on his art. He didn't do the animation, but it was based on his art, and he was involved in the movie and all that. And it was super cool. I don't remember almost anything, but I really remember this character that he did, that it was this almost naked guy, but with a leopard mask. That was so cool. The design was so cool. He has like this leopard mask through here. I wish I would love to do that statue someday.
Yeah, I hope you do. Honestly, I hope you do, because I'd be first on your list for that, man. Because I could just see your vision. We talked before.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Franco, speaking of fantasy, I can't help but always notice that hunter statue right behind you.
Oh yeah, he's here.
That's always catching my attention. That hunter statue.
Thanks,
that's an example of a fantasy, right?
Yeah, okay, well, because I also love Giger and Alien and Predator and all that shit. This is I'm trying to teach myself to paint. So this is something I am producing by myself because it's a personal work. But the factory is like taking just forever. But I'm learning to paint. So I bought a aerograph, I don't know how to airbrush.
Yeah.
And a lot of paints and all the shit, and I set up there. I'm learning to paint this guy. And thanks, man. I'm really this one I'm kind of proud, because when it's personal, it's different.
Frank,
do you know why I did this guy? Because I was like fucking starving. It was a hard moment economically.
It was a self-portrait.
Yeah, I saw everything about that self-portrait, man. But yeah, because it was, I mean, a lot of stuff that you do when it's personal, you realize why you did it after you have done it. It's not like, oh, I'm having this feeling, I'm going to work on this and represent that feeling. Sometimes an idea comes to you and you do it, and after you finish that project, you see and you dwell on it, and you realize the reason why you do it when you see the final product. Because a lot of the times you don't know what you're going to do when you pick up the brush, the pen, whatever. And I did that when I realized, I was when I did that, I realized that I was like fucking struggling to pay rent and to get it like set here and all that. And so that's why I kind of like it, because it represents something to me.
Now, Franco, you do a lot of the digital stuff. Are you ever going to try your hand at actually, doing the physical sculpting end of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I tried. I did something. I changed it 3 times, and then I just made it into clay again. I'm not kidding. I did an amateur. We have to do an amateur with metal because the clay doesn't hold itself.
Right.
I bought all this super sculpting. I started doing a guy. They have some pictures around my computer for sure. And then I was like, I don't want to do a guy, anatomically correct and whatever. That's kind of sometimes boring for me. I'm doing anatomy all the time and studying. I don't want to do that for fun. So I make it a creature with 2 heads and swords and all that. And then I was like, I don't like this pose. So I changed the pose. And then I was like, I'm never going to finish this.
And you mushed it down. So.
I was like, yeah, no. And then, for example, this used to have a face. But then I just took it out. It's clay. It's just sculpting clay. But I did a face, and but then I just got bored of the face, and I changed it. And that's basically how I work with my digital work. But the thing about the digital work is that allows me to change ideas fast and change direction really quickly. This, you have to be committed from the start. Most of the time, you have to. If you're going to do an amateur, you have to know the dimensions of the body, how it's going to pose, and all that. Wow. So I think that kind of stuff stifles my ideas. So I'm not too. I mean, I love all that process, and the clay and all that, but I realized that it doesn't work for my creativity at least. I want to learn as much as I can about the process, but I'm not going to go pro on it.
Right. That's got no face. That had Spawn written all over it, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Big Spawn fan. So, Franco, did we already ask you what character you want to sculpt that you haven't yet?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I say.
And that's why I skipped the question. Thank you very much, chat. That's why I skipped the question.
Well, don't be mad on them. They are late.
You would have known we already asked that. Thanks.
But probably it's going to be so loud. So, so don't ask that much.
Oh man, Stephen, did you have anything else to ask him or no?
Yeah, well, I mean, when Franco shared about that hunter statue and the reason why you did it, I immediately thought of your other really famous statue, the Silver Surfer coming out of the black hole. That's iconic. That's a grail in the eyes of many collectors. And
Thanks.
When I first read your sharing about how you did that, it was a very personal statue to you because of the things that you were going through, the moving from Argentina and what happened to your dad.
Yeah, I know what the thing about that, because I shared that on the private group. I didn't post it publicly, but the thing about that Silver Surfer that luckily a lot of people liked. When I did the Silver Surfer, I started it back in Argentina, and I finished it here in Spain. When apart from the idea that the pose or whatever comes from the art director and all that, the base was something completely different. It was like a planet or something like that. It wasn't not even close. And the thing is that when I was back in Argentina, we decided to move here. It took us I don't know, around maybe 6 months at most. I was like, okay, well, I'm tired of being a lot of things going on in Argentina. So I was like, let's look for something different. And my wife had lived here before, so she really loved Barcelona. So I was like, well, let's go Barcelona and try. So Argentina is always going to be here, so we can come back anytime. And we set everything up, and we sold the car, we rent the house and whatever. And about a week before we left Argentina, my father got not a week, like 3 days, got hospitalized because he was like turning yellow. He was like around 60, 62. So it was, oh man, what a way of bump this up. He broke everything out. But yeah, let me tell the story because he knows the story. So when I was there, I had a complicated but good relationship with my father. I used to see him like at least once to a week. So when we decided to come here, 3 days before we left, he was like hospitalized because he was all like fucking yellow and whatever. And just the same day that they were going to do a kind of an operation on him, a biopsy to see what was wrong with him, we were going on this flight. So like the operation was like 2-3 hours or 4 or 5 hours before we went to the flight. So I was at the hospital and whatever, and they finished the operation and all that shit, like an hour and a half, or less than an hour of me, you know, having to go and take the bus to take the flight. So when the doctor comes out with my father, they were like, okay, it's cancer, it's all over the place, there's nothing we can do. He has like 6 to probably 4 months. So I was like, you know, fuck,
it changes
I'm leaving
everything.
in an hour. I got no place to sleep. I got nothing. My daughter has to go to school. I'm leaving. But they told me that it was like 4 to 6 months. So I figure I can go to Spain, have like all set up in 1 month at least, and then come back and spend some time with it. We arrived here. I didn't tell my wife or my daughter anything, because I didn't want them to be preoccupied, during the trip and all that shit. We have a lot of things going on already. So say goodbye to my dad or whatever. He didn't knew that it was like terminal. We come here to Spain. We start setting things up. I'm every day talking with him on the phone and with the family and all that. And I don't know, he ended up lasting like 7 to 10 days at least. And then, I get the call from my little brother that was it, that he was gone. Mm. So all that, was like a fucking big fucking black hole going in here, man. I mean, moving countries and deal with all that shit. And that was like freaking hard. Mm. So, as I said before, sometimes you don't really know what you're doing until you have done, So I was working on this Silver Surfer guy, and he was, like pulling out of something with all his strength or whatever, and suddenly like this feeling came to me of that representation. So that's why I did like the big black hole. I wanted to represent that feeling that there is blackness or shit in the world, every time, but you have to pull through. You have to try at least to pull through. So that's the meaning. I mean, of that Silver Surfer to me. It's like just keep going, man. I mean,
it's more than just a character. Yeah.
Yes. That one in particular. Yeah. That one in particular. Emotions. Yeah. That one it is. That's why it's so special to me. And that's the thing about art. I mean, maybe some other guys just see and see it look cool. The curve is so awesome or whatever, and that's perfect. Or the character represents something to them. That's why I don't usually tell what this represents to me, because art is completely subjective. If you've seen the first season of Daredevil, you completely understand art. If you've seen the relationship with Kingpin and the painting. They explained art in a brilliant way.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
That's amazing. And the way that he, with the painting and his background, his backstory and all that, that's the way that art makes you feel.
Rabbit in a snowstorm.
Franco, do you ever look at it from a standpoint? You're doing the design from art direction. Do you ever say, "Hey, I think the art direction should go this way" to somebody? I know they're giving
all the time.
Yeah, they're giving you the paycheck, but I'm wondering, you know, is it one of those things where, hey, you could have a better idea than any art director out there? You know what I mean? You're the artist, you know, doing.
I know what you're saying, Nick, but sometimes, and not a lot of times, is the other guy has a better idea. I mean, I never say to I always say I'm suck, so I'm never going like, no, my idea is better. No, it's just like, oh, I got this idea. What do you think? Or maybe if I show you the representation of it, you know, we can work that out. Sometimes the art director has an idea, and it's like, it's really bad, man. But I know that he's not going to say, okay, to idea, unless I show him that his idea is not going to work. Because a lot of times you have something on your mind, and then when you see it represented in a 3D or 2D or whatever, you realize that it's impossible, you know,
it's not working. Yeah.
Translate, it's not working. So what I like to do is, you know, to do a lot of back and forward with my clients. I don't like to go like, oh, okay, you pay me, I do this, and then you have the file.
Yeah, so you guys sit and you brainstorm together, basically.
Yeah. We have fights. I have fights with my clients. I mean,
a responsible tattoo artist does the same thing.
I fight for some things sometimes. I mean, if I say, okay, this is what it should be because it represents, like there is something on the back of a Doom Throne that that I did that was completely my idea because the fact is that sometimes you know the character more than the client or whatever, so
or you understand a piece of him in a certain way. Yeah,
but sometimes it's the other way around. So it's a teamwork, as I'm saying. It's always a teamwork.
It's a beautiful collaboration, man, that you guys got going on. I'll tell you that. So, Statue Matinee is asking, since you like medieval and fantasy, how do you feel about sculpting comic characters over and over?
Oh, I really like comics as well. I mean, you never asked me that.
No, so comics,
I mean, that's the thing.
Is kind of fantasy, though, right?
It fully is because I don't see any fucking Wolverine going around or a Spider-Man.
But what about like?
I will be scared of shirtless, man. If there's a fucking Wolverine on my backyard.
I guess what about a marriage of like medieval fantasy, like dragons and stuff like that? Is that something that you'd be interested in sculpting?
Sorry, if I'm looking at the phone, it's because of my daughter.
No, it's all right.
Well, that's what I try to do, maybe with my personal work, just to mess up a few things, you know, like maybe a creature with medieval armor or something like that. But I really like comic characters because they were, you know, my friends or whatever you want to say. I had friends. It's not saying that I didn't have friends, but I spent a lot of time with comics, reading comics and drawing comics and all that. And you learn. When you're a kid, you kind of learn a lot of things about life in comics. I mean, about like morals and ethics and stuff like that. They are essentially. The idea of them is to do that. I mean, to teach kids to be a good person. That's what a hero is. I mean, it's somebody that's going to do the right thing no matter what. That's the idea. That's why I saw Captain Marvel yesterday. Sorry, but that's a bad movie.
The first one?
No, Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
No, sorry. Captain America is really fucking good because that message that I just told you, it comes across perfectly.
Yeah.
When the guy jumps in front of the fucking grenade, that's it. Yeah. That's Captain America. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's Captain America. He doesn't get a shit about himself. He cares about the rest of them. That's bad for him because he's not like, he doesn't have a good self-love, but that's what a hero would do. And Captain America saying that noble warrior heroes.
That's what makes an artist great. No matter what your media, no matter what you're doing, your modesty says it all about you, Franco. Really, you know, you're not on a high horse because you need artists where they're on their high horse, and it's like you got to dial it back a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying. I'm sure you've met, artists that they're really
Just like anybody, musicians or actors, they don't want to talk to their fans. You know, it's important to. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I don't think about that much. I don't. I'm just happy of being here, man. I mean, I told you. I mean, I was like in a cave 24 hours a day working on commercials, so nobody give a shit about what I was doing. So that's why I was always doing like my personal work. So just being here and talking to you and seeing how you like what I do, it's for me it's awesome. I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't like give you time that you deserve or you need or what. English is not my first language. Remember that. So sometimes words weird.
No, and we appreciate it. I appreciate all the time you give me.
Greatly appreciated, Franco.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat too. You got Archangel over here saying that he's fighting the flu and wouldn't miss this chat because he's a big fan of your work. Epic Statues. You know Epic?
Yeah, man.
Wojciech? That guy, I love that guy, man.
Franco, the big question.
That guy bought every single statue off you.
I love that guy, bro.
I know.
Franco, the big question I have to ask on the chat, and you don't have to answer it however you want to answer it, but this is one it's always, and we've talked about it. If someone came at you like a sideshow or an XM and they said, we want you full time, you would obviously take the jump at it, correct?
Take the jump. English, that lingo maybe can be.
Yeah, sorry, they want to sign you exclusively just to do sculpting for them. Would you sign with them?
Yeah. Well, I would do it. I mean, it's a different experience for sure.
Yeah,
I can still do my fucking creatures if I want.
Right.
It's and also it would be cool to work with a team of people. You know, not only
a team of people.
Yeah,
a team.
No, it would be fun. Yeah. Actually, I was working for a license or something that is a sister company. I can say that this because there is no a sister company to XM. But I started that like over a year ago, and they are still like waiting feedback from Marvel. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nobody talks to me, so I don't know. It's kind of hard. And the other day I talked to other guys, and they have a license for Warhammer 40K, and we're going to work on something like that. And yeah, man, but yeah, I would love to work for the guys for Sideshow XM always. Yeah, I mean, it's
Franco.
What?
Franco, please forgive me for my lack of understanding on the industry or business, but would being remaining as a custom or private sculptor give you that creativity that you wouldn't get if you work for a commercial
but you can
sculpture company?
Use that creative freedom and other stuff, or personal stuff, and actually you can give some creative freedom with the characters that they give you licenses. Obviously, they have to go through all the feedback process and approval process and all that, and you can get your input there, for what I understand. But if you're doing that as a job, you enjoy it, but you still need to have some more creative freedoms. Just do your own stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be obviously superheroes and all that. I will do more creatures. I love doing creatures and all that.
Yeah, it seems like you're drawn to that. For sure. It seems like you're drawn to those creatures a lot, which is cool.
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah, I saw a labyrinth when I was young.
That led to my question. That led to my question. You see yourself doing a whole line of those, Franco?
Yeah.
Got you down already.
I'm trying to generate a line, but I don't want to, I mess up in that thing. I don't like those extra long-term goals, but I don't want to, how do you say it in English? Well, I want to be creative, to keep creative. So if I want to do a creative like this, I can do it. If I want to do the pregnant lady,
you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into a specific lane. You want to be able to you know, do wherever the creativity leads you.
Right, and you don't want to just bring a piece out in a line just to bring a piece out to add to the line. You want to have the creative.
Yeah, like for example, you have this guy, but you have also that baby snatcher that I did.
Yeah,
that's like feeding the baby to his babies.
Yeah,
that baby snatcher is amazing. By the way,
it's so creepy, man.
Thanks, guys.
It's so fucking creepy.
Franco, what is talking about creativity? The one that you mentioned, the pregnant lady, or what you?
No,
I'm just looking at the art station. It's called MOM, or is it called Mom? That is super crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That one spawned from just image that I saw. Well, I got like the sketch that I did like really rough, but because it was the first idea. This is the first sketch that I did.
That's crazy.
Sick.
The idea spawned. You know, from I saw a picture of an insect with all those, you know, embryon. I don't know how to call them.
Like an egg sac.
Egg sac. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that's creepy." But she's going to be so proud. I was like, that was my mindset. I was like, oh, that's creepy. Yeah, that's creepy for me because she's having babies. Man, she's going to be so fucking proud. So that's what was the idea about that one. It was like, this has to, like, at least for me, generate you like a little bit of creepiness, but also like a little bit of empathy. That was the idea.
Now, it wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you this, man. Were you a big time Star Wars fan growing up, or no?
Oh, fucking pop culture, man. Yeah.
My man.
I never liked the sequels. Sorry about that. The prequels. Sorry, I never liked those. Actually, I don't know what it was. Probably because they were bad. But yeah, man. I mean, I like it, but because of the creatures, man. I mean, that was so cool, and just that ending on "I'm your father," man. That's encrypted in our culture.
That's like to this day, to me, that's like the biggest like mind fuck out of any movie like they've ever come out with. You know,
yeah, one-liner. I mean, it's like but yeah, that moment it was like, what? I mean, obviously, I didn't see them on cinemas, but when I saw it, I was really young, and I was like, "What? What's this movie?" And then we went with my father and rent the other one. But yeah, man, those obviously I really like, and I like the whole universe. You know, the creature design, all that. That's really cool. And obviously, Terminator, you know, Aliens, Predator, all that. And I really like Predator 2. Predator 2 is really good. Not the last one. The last one is shit.
Franco, you like the creatures and stuff like that. Are you an H.R. Geiger fan and a Clive Barker? Do you follow them at all?
Yeah, what? I don't recognize Clive Barker by the name.
He did the Hellraiser movies.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I'm not that far into it. I like more bigger style, probably, but I'm not that like extreme gore guy.
Right.
Yeah, he's really cool. I mean, the cloth that he does with the characters and all that's kind of cool. Yeah.
So you're getting a shout out from Gek Tex right now. What up, Franco?
Yeah, that's Chris, right?
Yeah. Crespo, that dude's the best, man. And then PJ Sai 1 is asking, are there any creatures or characters from Argentinian folklore that you would like to sculpt?
Well, yeah, there's a character that's called El Cazador that I did I wanted to do a short film, and I wanted to do a lot of stuff with him. Let me check if I find the...
And then this isn't a question, this is more of just a comment, but Dead Cool Pool is saying that you seem like you would be really good at sculpting like a Court of the Dead piece for Sideshow, which I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. Yeah, those designs, and those are designs by my really good buddy. He's a super cool guy. He's Amir Cavaldana. He's like super cool, and he designed all those, most of them.
Yeah, did you see that that most recent one, that Poxel from Mark Newman?
Pox, I don't remember
it's
the name.
It's the bird.
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
Fucking creepy, man.
That's wicked, man.
Super creepy.
this is the character I was telling you about called the Cazador, created by these guys back in Argentina, and also Ariel Olivetti was involved. I did a few like animations of him and 3D renders and stuff like that. It's like this kind of Lobo character.
Kind of looks like Bane.
Really fucked up.
Yeah, he does.
The funny thing about him is like, let me check. Back in Argentina, we didn't have any problems with copyrights and all that shit. So you have like this shit in the comics, in the fucking Polish comics. Fuck. Like Cazador fighting Superman. That was like published in the comic. Cazador fighting, all the team.
Wow.
Yeah, man, this was crazy. And when I used to read this, it was the first time that you got like read about like this guy was swearing all the fucking time. See this? There you go. That's for Jason.
That's crazy because it's got Captain America and Superman the same book.
Yeah. They didn't care, man. They didn't care shit. It was like he was killing Superman. He was killing, I think, Batman. Also, he was killing everybody. And it was so super nasty.
Wow.
So all that folklore and all that shit, I always liked that character. There's a lot of things, but the thing is that back there, it's all mixed because you have some Mexican or whatever. You have like the chupacabra. But I don't know if that's from Argentina or it's from Mexico or whatever. It's from Latin America,
Yeah, it's a Latin folklore. Yeah.
Yeah. You have the crying lady.
Yeah, I think it originated in Mexico.
Do they have a whole luchador?
You never know. That's the thing.
So, as far as like maybe movie directors, like you a big fan of Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah.
How cool, amazing is his stuff, man? I mean,
he's cool. We'd love to do some creators for him.
Oh, that would be.
Well, actually, I have a friend that worked with him. That lives here. I met him here. Super cool guy. I don't know if I have to name, but Daniel Carrasco. If you don't know him, you can follow him. But he has mostly concept art.
Because Pan's Labyrinth, that takes place in Argentina, right?
No, in Spain.
Oh, that's Spain. Okay, all right, you're right.
It's, for example, Daniel Carrasco Jabalera. I wanted to say like that, so you can type it. Daniel Carrasco Jabalera. That's the guy, a friend of mine. He did some concept for Guillermo del Toro. He's a super cool guy. Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth. I think it's super cool movie. I don't know.
What a beautiful film.
Because for me, it's like Pan's Labyrinth is like a fairy tale for adults. So the movie starts in a fairy tale world, because the first scene is fairy tale, then goes to the real world. Then the girl, spoilers. Yeah. The girl dies at the end, but the last scene is she going back to her father and her mother, because she was a princess. Yeah. So for me, it's a happy ending. The movie.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful movie. But the thing is that people more informed than me about maybe the Spain Revolution or that, they can take that as a metaphor, and they actually tell you that now the girl is fucking dead. For me, it was like a fairy tale for adults. So this has a happy ending for me. The girl dies from her human body and goes back to her, fantasy body.
I saw a thing where Guillermo was talking about that, and he said that whenever things are taking place in the human world, it's got like blue and gray tones. Mm-hmm. And when things are in the fantasy world, it's like gold and red and like bright oranges and yellows. Yeah. And it's so interesting that that he thinks that hard all the way down to like every detail. I admire his work too.
A lot of directors. Fantastic. The art direction on movies has a lot of work to do, and if you start paying attention to all of those things, you're going to pick up a lot of cool things.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Franco, your creatures, I saw you had sketches. Do you always sketch and then go to the ZBrush, or is it right to is it sketch ZBrush or right to ZBrush?
No, it's depends on the mood. This I sketched because I was like, I took my daughter to synchronized swimming, so I have time. I usually I'm reading some Lovecraft lately, and if I want, I do some sketches, some anatomy studies, stuff like that. But I don't like to like have waste time. I don't know how to say it, but I like to do stuff. If I have time, I don't want to be like on YouTube and
idle time. Yeah.
Right. Your sketches, man. You got some good stuff there. Wow.
It's mostly anatomy studies, but well, this is like the first concept of the baby snatcher.
Oh wow! Nice. Look at all that anatomy stuff.
The thing is that he was going to be on the crib. Actually, the first idea was that he was going to be taking the baby out of the crib.
Oh my!
But then I realized that it wasn't for me at least. It wasn't giving me the feeling that I wanted. It was like painting him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then it was no, but that's not what I want to convey. You know, I want to give them like a real life to these characters. I don't want them to be like, oh, he's bad because he's fucking ugly. Yeah, because he might steal your baby, but he's going to feed it to his babies.
Yeah. So it's perspective from whose side you're looking.
It's what I'm telling you. So that's the thing. I mean, when you see in nature, that happens all the fucking time. And lions are the baddest fuckers of all, man. If a lion comes and takes the other lion, he's going to kill all the babies that lion spawned, because he doesn't want any fucking lion babies that they are not his own. Also, he's going to kill all the babies.
It's great to see you use your anatomy even in your creature statues. You know, it's not just something that comes from wow.
What do you think? I don't know if I'm going to do this or not because it's wow. But this is the idea I have because
that's awesome. That is really
awesome. That's more than a little bit of armpit hair, let me tell you.
That's worse than armpit hair, man. But that's a fucking powerful con. Sorry about I'm not from there, so it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Vagina. I don't know.
Oh, it's that kind of artwork though, man, that if you can translate that to statue, it's breathtaking.
This came to me because some ideas just come to you. I don't know. I was like just this general vibe that we're living through. I'm all about equality. That's not the point. But the idea was like, imagine, because they're like, maybe in my opinion, they're pushing like too hard. And sometimes you have to take it slow or whatever, but sometimes you have to go hard. And so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But just for what the idea came from. And it was like, I remember watching the movie Sanson, when the guy this myth that he's changed to the columns and he breaks free from all that shit.
The Titan?
Samson. If you don't know the story of Samson and Delilah. Yeah. Samson and Delilah. Well, there's a movie the moment that he breaks free of the chains and he destroys the columns and all the fucking Colosseum goes down, with him. And that idea came from that. I mean, I don't know why, but I got a flashback of that moment because he was like really breaking free, but at the same time he was like destroying himself. It was all mixed in there. So I was like, I don't know, that feeling came from there. And also I'm reading a lot of Lovecraft, and there's a lot of tentacles there, so it's a mix.
Archangel wants to know if his wife posed for that one.
Sorry, what?
Archangel wants to know if
my wife.
No, if his wife posed for
it. My wife is pretty hot, so yeah.
Franco, he's asking if Archangel's wife posed for that one.
I don't know what's worse.
Franco, there was a question from another person asking, do you come from a family of artists and sculptors?
Only my mother. Yeah, the only one that used to do art is my mother. Then nobody else. And she wasn't like pushing it to me or anything. And my father he used to be like maybe a prick sometimes, or just like that tough love that they try to do. Because I don't know, I used to show him something maybe, and he used to be like, "Oh, that's wrong. You have to do better or whatever." So all those little things that happen in your life, they ingrain into you. So maybe that's why, I don't know.
Franco, do you ever have a creative block like most artists do? Do you ever have a time where you're like, I gotta get away from this, and I'll come back to it like in an hour and tomorrow, or?
Oh yeah, but that's a common thing. I mean, you have to step away from what you're doing a lot of times to get a new perspective. There's a lot of times that I'm doing something and I go like, "Oh, this is looking good," but I'm going to do something else, step away, go and do whatever, drink a coffee outside or whatever, and then I come back in an hour and I start seeing all the flaws and all the problems and all that. But I don't feel that I have like creative or artist block, because you just have to start doing, and then the things sometimes appear in front of you. I'm not afraid of the blank page, because it's just if you start doing it, something is going to come up, and then you can change it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I was all those clay sculptors. Once you start doing it, then you have something, and then if it's bad, you can change it. But you have something, so you have to start doing something so you can change it. It kind of makes sense. I don't know, but that's how I do it.
No, it makes sense completely. Thank you. It was for sure.
Yeah, that's why I was showing you the first. Let me see. The first baby snatcher concept. It was nothing like the end result, and I changed it like in 2 days. It turned out to be the other thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe around here. Well, you got what I'm saying.
No, I completely get yeah. No, that was a great explanation. It really was.
It's not here.
So you were saying that your daughter does synchronized swimming?
Yeah.
So she's an artist too.
Yeah, and she draws as well and all that, but I think she turned 13 like the past week, and I think she's like slowly drifting away from art. And there is nothing I can do. I mean, I don't want to push her into doing anything. She can be whatever she wants.
Do you ever ask her to do anatomy study, like because she's basically a water dancer?
She has
like see
anatomy studies like she or
no, where you're saying, hey, can you pose like this and hold that pose, and then
no.
Oh man, that would be cool.
13, man. I mean, yeah, but no, she's not going to do that. To me.
I'm just saying for certain forms.
She's 13. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about me at all.
Oh, come on.
No. I mean, obviously, yeah, she loves me and all that, but she's on her own deal.
No, Dad, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know nothing, Dad. Yeah.
Well, I'm there soon, my brother.
So, no, you still have like 13 years. The first years are fucking awesome, so enjoy those.
Well, I hope so.
Franco, I think I've asked you this before. This is a really big question that I have for you. Are you more of a self-taught artist, or have you, through the years of school, picked up some from school and some self-taught, or is it, all of one or half and half?
I don't know if it's not half and half, but that's the thing. Back in Argentina, in my hometown, Mar del Plata, there was only one art school. It's called Martín Malar. And I went to that school to do the illustration career, and it was bad, man. I mean, I didn't learn shit about anatomy. I didn't learn shit about composition or whatever. I don't know it was like being in school, but just drawing. It wasn't good, so I'm kind of pissed about that, because I wish they could give better knowledge to the new students.
Right.
But the thing is that on my first year, I don't know, I was like 3 or 4 months in the school. I saw this poster of this guy that was teaching Photoshop. So I was like, I want to learn that. So I took those classes with the guy. We spent like 2 months. He spent like 2 months teaching me. And then after that, he got a big job so he hired me to help him with the job. So that was cool because I was
wow.
Yeah. So after that, I kind of realized that school wasn't like the best way to learn. You have to like push yourself as much as you can. So I went to school, but I finished the career. I have a degree in illustration, but I'm not good at that. But I have the fucking degree, and nobody ever asked me about a fucking degree. No, so don't worry about degrees, guys.
So you did a lot of self-teaching then. That's
yeah,
what. Yeah.
Most of it actually, because this guy only taught me to use Photoshop, not a color theory or that. You learn that from reading or YouTube, and if you really want to learn, you're going to find the information. The problem these days is that maybe there is too much, so it's kind of hard to pick which is a good one, because some people like start teaching and they don't really know shit. That's why I don't teach, because I don't think I know enough to transfer the knowledge. So you have to just be certain that what you are studying it's the right thing. So if you want to study something, at least ask the students there, or I'm not saying don't go to school, because there are a lot of good universities of this, a lot. But just get informed about it.
Right. One of my favorite comic artists, he made a good point. Angel Medina, and he's very, very reclusive, and he just does phenomenal art. He said, when it comes to drawing, you should never have to force yourself. You should want to love to draw, and I think that goes with any art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, I'm not 100% agree.
You don't think so?
No, because that's the difference between hobby and professional.
Yeah.
There are days that I just want to fucking play a fucking game and just chill, man. I just want to finish The Last of Us. The first one. I'm thinking about the first one. What? 5 years ago, 6 years? I don't know which one.
You still can't even get any sleep, my brother.
Oh, barely, man.
Franco, do you find yourself forcing yourself to do any of your stuff ever? Like, I have to do this, and
no, that's a different thing. But what I did a few months ago, that's a different thing. Let's finish one thought and go to the other one. The thing is that if you only do art, you can say, or do this when you feel like it, it's not probably that you're going to achieve much, because you need a certain discipline. It's not an easy job. It's like any job that you do. I mean, you have to go. You have to be there from 9 to 5, whatever. It's not like, oh, today I want to work. Oh, today I don't want to. That's why I don't go. You have to sit there. Yeah, you have to sit there and just do it, because you want the knowledge, or you want the money, or whatever. So you have a goal. So you have to go and force yourself to do it, and you have to create a discipline. Maybe to make it easy for you, I don't know, make a good music playlist, listen to some YouTube review, or whatever you want to do on a side. But you have to do the work. That's the thing. It's not from heavens. It's not like something that I got from my mother, because my mother doesn't know how to draw. It's not that she draws really good and that. And she never taught me anything about that. I learned it, I'm still learning it, because I study almost every day. I try to just pick up something different, just to remember how the fucking shoulder blade moves, and what's the angle when it starts to bend. If I'm 25, 35, and the shoulder blade starts to move, to the upside. I don't know how to say it. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, you have to study. You have to do it. The job. It's not like, oh, when I'm on a move, when I'm on the mood, I'm going to do some art. I mean, if I'm not, I'm not. If you want to do that, that's perfect. But it's going to be a hobby for you. It's not going to be a career.
Right. The dedication has to be there. You have to be dedicated. Yeah.
When I started studying 3D, I wasn't going out. I wasn't doing shit. I was going to work, then going back home to my little fucking apartment that I live with a friend of mine. And I was studying and working to 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Then I woke up and go to work again, and then go back and do the 3D stuff all the time, because I wanted to learn. Didn't care about girls or whatever. I was 24, 23. No, yeah, 23. I was like, that was a good age, for going out and having fun. And I looked fit, man. I used to go to the gym.
Well, you still look fit now.
Speaking of fit, Archangel said he studies anatomy every day. His forearms are jacked. Should have waited until after you drank.
Just remember that to be ambidextrous, because you're going to have a big forearm.
You got to switch hands there, Arch.
Yeah, switch hands.
Oh my god,
Franco, that was a good breakdown, though. I appreciate that. Thank you. That really was.
And then I had a point, but I forgot about it. It was on the similar line.
So our homie Julio G is happy to be here. He said he's super inspired by you, wants to get a piece. He's got to steal and pillage now. Yeah,
I appreciate it. No, I mean, the fact that you guys want something that I did and to keep it there in your houses and whatever, it just like blows my mind.
Yeah, I want all.
By the way, Franco, I'm looking at the latest thing that you did, the museum Wolverine that you showed in your Facebook.
Yeah.
Like that anatomy is just out of this world. How long did it take you to design that museum?
No, it is the past 5 years. Oh, the past 3 years. So sorry, not 5, because I've been studying anatomy 3 years. But yeah, that's the truth. It's the past 3 years of my life that I've been studying anatomy, and I'm far away. But when you do something like that, you have to like keep checking stuff and looking at the landmarks and how the muscle insert and how they tense in that position. If the guy is, because if you're relaxed like this, but you have something, but if you flex like that, I don't have any max muscle, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
You get
we get it.
It's relaxed and it's tense. And for example, the triceps, I think this because you guys maybe like all the triceps to be like defined all that, but if you have the arm like stretch, the tricep is going to work because the bicep is relaxed. This works always 1 and 2, and they work together. And if you bend the arm, the tricep is going to relax, so it's not going to be like all defined. It will never be defined, but you guys like it defined. So you have to play a little bit with that. You can't do it like super perfectly like realistic, but you have to find a way to get in the middle, because the comic art is all super defined because it's drawings. So you have to draw the fucking triceps and all that, but you have to find a middle ground to do this kind of stuff. But because if you look like real anatomy and all that, you're going to see the difference. With the great sculptors, you're going to see that if the guy has his arm bent, the tricep is barely defined because it's stretched. If his arm is like stretched, his bicep is relaxed and his triceps are really tense. So you have to study movement. Movement is really important.
Do you find female anatomy or male anatomy easier, or are they both an equal challenge?
They have challenge in different ways. I don't know which one is. I like maybe. I can say I kind of like sculpting women better, but just because I like them. They feel.
You like to look at it.
Yeah, and the research moment is fun.
No armpit. No armpit hair.
It's we got to get to that.
It's really different because when you have guys, I mean, you have to. Sometimes it's easier because you just like cut here because the obliques, it's easier to define the muscles, and with the woman, it's all a softer shape, but the structure has to be under the skin. So sometimes it's harder.
Yeah, because you don't want to make her too jacked, because then.
Yeah, I don't want to make it like Simon Lee. Simon Lee's a sculptor, super awesome sculptor. Simon Beasley. Simon Beasley is an illustrator that I really like, but he does like this really tiny waist and this big everything.
So you're looking to have her more fit than like jacked, like Tim was just saying.
It has to be exactly. You can look at fitness reference fit. That's the word.
Yeah, because you want to see the muscle, but you still want it to like be supple and like and soft. Yeah. because that's what we're all looking for.
Tim, we getting close to the end. Anybody got any like final questions?
Yeah. So that.
What time? I don't know what time.
Yeah,
Franco,
I do. I must
Franco.
Go ahead.
I must ask this. Otherwise, I'm going to regret it. So Franco, what is your next project that you are allowed to share?
No, you know that answer. So.
I had to ask that.
Yeah, I know.
Dead Cool Pool is asking if you've ever tried to sculpt yourself or like a family member, like a portrait of like somebody in your family.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't because I'm going to be like, oh no, I'm going to make me more prettier than I am. I know that's not true.
Oh, come on.
Atom, you want Franco to do a sculpt of yourself, right?
No, I don't even like myself, bro.
Why? Team, talk to us.
Yeah, man. I mean,
circle. You can
stop asking me for anatomy pictures, bro. I'm tired. You fucking want the guns? They're here, bro.
Hey, team, send me the guns. I need the guns, team.
You keep on saying I need a beard picture because I'm trying to sculpt this beard. Like,
not to be the one asking all the questions, but this is a really good one for you. If you could work with any artist in the industry of the statue making, of course, sculpting wise, what sculptor who's your dream sculptor to co-create a piece?
No, today obviously it will be with Danny because he's a friend and we have a lot of fun together. I would love to work, but just because I would love to have fun with him. And he's fucking cool, obviously. He knows a lot more than I do. So it would be fun to work with Danny.
Nice.
That'd be so sick.
That would be insane, man.
You talk about earth shattering.
Nightcrawler.
Oh my god. So it's funny that, like, I think my favorite anatomy sculpt, probably of all statues currently, is the Daniel Bell Iron Fist.
Yeah, super cool.
I think that might be my favorite.
I'm going to tell you that something is wrong. I'm sure.
Of course.
But yeah,
this is awesome.
Because the way he bent, the body, kept all the right insertions and proportions. And all that. That's awesome work, man.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite. Yeah.
So are we ready for the survey question that all must answer into the ring?
Speed man.
Not even Franco can escape.
No one escapes, man. Nobody escapes. So, you got your number one. Let's assume for a moment you're not married, no kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got models, sports figure, musicians, porn stars. Whoever it may be for you.
A porn star because that way is. I mean, you're going too far, man. If you know the name, you're fucked. So much time on that website.
They want you.
I would go with Margot Robbie, man.
That works. That qualifies.
I'm glad you qualified.
So we got Margot Robbie and
Archangel Skull. This is a classy family show.
Yeah. And he wasn't on, man, before.
Yeah, he's been on here for a bit. He has the flu.
Margot Robbie wants a piece of the ZBrush, but we find out that the armpit hair growth is substantial. The
picture you're talking about, like the picture.
Yeah.
Very far from, because yesterday they were going like, you can do some dreadlocks over there. So. Too much. But if it's only armpits,
yeah.
So everything else is shape.
For now, yeah.
For oh my god, yeah, because if picture over here, he will start talking about which part.
He's talking about the Anubis.
Yeah.
Anus.
The anus. Oh, we slide into the deepest pits here.
It's hard. See?
Franco, they spread it like the plague, man.
No, if it's only the armpits and everything else is shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, guys. Sorry, A-team. I know. But if it's only the armpits, yeah, whatever. We can go to hippie parties and just
hippie party.
You know,
sick. Me sick.
That's it. We lost another good one today.
We did.
One of the best.
Our child, right?
Another has been turned to the dark side.
Well, you're in good company at least.
Franco, a follow-up question to that.
Oh man, yeah. No, do you want to go to the after hours?
No. If a commissioner or a statue company requested you to make a statue of a female with a lot of facial hair or armpit hair, would you do it?
Yeah,
just for the money?
Yeah, of course. I'm a whore.
He'll do anything for money.
I will make you the best dildo ever for money. I don't care. I will do the research too.
We're asking the hard-hitting questions right now.
Yeah, I mean, Franco, the statue would be like an Amazon rainforest.
Perfect. Big, long leg hairs.
Would she have unus hair though? Would she have the hair?
Of course, like on the sides, of the. Skipping it from the side.
Archangel said if she has tentacles in between her legs, the last of your promises is armpit hair. Collections joining us. What up, Mac?
Oh, what's up, man?
Well, Franco, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a blast.
Every fucking week, man. I would love it. It's so fucking fun.
I'm telling you,
how I talk is bad.
One of them nights where you up sculpting, man, you gotta hop on with us and on the real stage, enjoy it.
Yeah, but I can't because all the girls are sleeping. You know,
I got you.
Like 4 a.m. here. So yeah, that's the only thing that keeps me from jumping in, man. But sometimes I want to because this one she's going to say that.
Yeah, we know.
Our
Castle chat is contagious.
It is, man. It is super funny.
So yeah, it's been real, y'all. So we're gonna thank everybody for watching and everything, and we're gonna catch up with y'all next week. Hopefully, we can fix this chat from last night. But if not, I don't know.
Let us try it later.
Yeah, I think Thor, we're gonna sink that.
Franco.
We'll sink it.
My pleasure, guys.
All right,
it's our pleasure, actually.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
For sure.
Truly is mine, man. Seriously. Okay.
All right, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, guys.